guys, my name is Sky, and if you didn't know, I got a place to study mathematics at the University of York. And I also applied 30 minutes before the UCAS deadline. Here is how to write your personal statement in under 10 hours. Although obviously don't leave it to the last minute if you don't have to. Save yourself that stress. So first things first, you need to determine your order. Mine personally went intro, also stating the course in that. Then why with my academic interests, achievements and related experience, extracurriculars, related work experience, and then my conclusion. So once you decide on which sections you want to have for which one will apply best to your life and which order you want to go in, bullet point ideas for each section. You may also find that you want to rejig it a little bit once you get those ideas onto a page, and that's absolutely fine as well. Just go with what feels best. I applied for mathematics, so I did a mathematical play on words for my first sentence, and you knew straight from the first word that I was applying for maths without ever saying it. As long as it suits your own tone, it will be fine. But absolutely don't go with cliches like, ever since I was a child I wanted to do this subject. The admission officers see that so many times, honestly. So don't plagiarise and avoid cliches, but it's also really important to create your own tone and let it flow from your heart. It should also be confident without being cocky. Think of it as if you're writing your CV in more of an English style story, and if you're wanting to get into a certain uni, make sure you include certain details from that specific course that maybe other unis don't do on their course. So all linking into that, you need to make sure you actually do research the course and the unis that you're applying to. Pick out key facts, modules, quotes from the website, and all of this will hopefully help you show your real world interest. Even if you don't have a real interest, I had no real interest at all, just do that. It will make it seem better and more professional. It's really not that difficult to find some sort of video on YouTube, so even if you have to do that, just do it. Think of it as like a box ticking thing. Have I included a quote from a certain field? Have I linked it to my course? Have I said this? Have I done that? Just tick the boxes. When you're explaining what course you're applying for and why, you're basically writing the answer to the question, why this field, who stroke what inspires you. Just answer that question as academically as you can, including those quotes, and you'll be absolutely fine. Don't panic if you never had any interest. As I said, I had absolutely no interest either, but you know, tick that box. There is not one person in my school that actually had some sort of interest outside of school. It was only when they had to write the personal statement that they started reading something. Again, throughout you should be answering these questions. How academic are you, and why will that suit our university in particular? What do you do besides school, and why will that suit us? And also, why should we want you? I talked about my work experience at the vets and any maths that I had to do in that. I also talked about my own love of aviation. In fact, I've flown a plane, and everything to do with sort of the aerodynamics of flight. Just link in what you can. Any academic achievements, any awards, any certificates you received, your attendance. I'm gonna get my personal statement up and see what I included in mine. Found it. I also mentioned what other subjects I'd taken at A-level and why I wasn't choosing to study them at university. So I've talked about the skills that I would hopefully achieve from university and where I would apply that in the real world. Some sort of competitions I've done with school, any volunteering I've done, I've linked it to maths. I've said why I actually want to go to university in general and not do an apprenticeship or something like that. I haven't actually put in it, I don't want to do an apprenticeship, but I've said like the benefits of university life. Everything I did to do with gymnastics, the awards I won with that, the girl guiding, volunteering. I did also make it more realistic, so it's not like, oh, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to get everything right, I'm going to do it all amazingly. It's like, no, I'm going to accept the failures that I know I will make, because I will fail sometimes, but I'm going to accept that, and by accepting it, it will make me overcome it easier. I love my first line and I love my final line so much, and I just can't say it, and it's just so annoying. Remember, when you're writing this personal statement, you have got a deadline at the end of the day. Obsessively staring at a blank page is not going to get you anywhere, so use your time effectively. If you're also applying for maths like I was, I will just give you a heads up right now that you are not allowed to use mathematical symbols. I tried in my personal statement, it got approved by all my teachers, and then I went to put it in UCAS and it wouldn't allow it. So likewise, if you're using Word, it will tell you the characters you've used at the bottom of it, but once you actually insert that into UCAS, it will change. UCAS counts characters differently for some reason. I don't know where it is or why, but you may have to be prepared to change your personal statement slightly once actually on UCAS as well. Avoid contractions and use a thesaurus to avoid using the same words again and again. Just change the word slightly, especially if you can use a shorter word, just to try and keep your character count down from the start. Speaking of which, you know you're likely going to spend over your allowed character limit, so try to limit what you're saying as you go along, so you'll have less to cut out in the end. If you started writing something and you know you're going to start waffling about it, just stop there, cut it short. If you've got characters to spare, you can go back, so it's better to be under the limit than over it. Check all spellings thoroughly, as well as the use of capital letters. Even if you're not friends with your English teachers, get an English teacher to check it. If you've got any friends that are already at university, ask them to give your personal statement a quick read. They will very quickly read it. They've already done their personal statement and got into university, obviously, so they will be able to give you some great advice. But that is everything I did. I think I only redrafted my personal statement twice, and by redraft I don't even mean change anything. I literally just changed like a few words or tried to get under my character limit. That was it. So I did manage to write my personal statement in under 10 hours, even in the stressed environment, because I was very last minute. But if I can do it, then you definitely can as well. So good luck, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.